Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Just because the Americans or the guys in charge of us decided to get us close to a war in the Middle East for some other interest, it doesn't mean that we're not going to cover our people in Ukraine and what's going on over there. Well, they're still keeping themselves busy while keeping one another, unfortunately, for other interests, for the same interest, I would say, that will have United States of America go to war in the Middle East, probably with a few Arab countries plus Israel. Don't arrest me. Iran. So I have two articles here where we have first an attempted offensive. I mean, the Russian offensive, according to the Ukrainians, occurs from what? From Liman down to Avdiivka, Marynka. So the whole front, I will show you the map, still is under a Russian offensive. Successful? I don't think so yet, but as the Ukrainians claimed before regarding their offensive, advances are very slow but steady. So I have two articles. Let's start with this one here from Ukrinform. They're both from Ukrinform, and I will use the Russian map right here. But let's go first to the article. Russian troops hit Zaporizhzhia region 175 times in past day. Russian troops shelled Zaporizhzhia region 175 times over the past day, hitting 23 settlements. Now, where Zaporizhzhia is right in here, where the Ukrainians supposedly still conduct their counteroffensive. Here is Zaporizhzhia. This is Zaporizhzhia, and by Kherson and Donetsk. So here is where the line of contact is. The Ukrainians tried to break this in two, get to Melitopol or Berdyansk, go down, and then go to the Crimean Peninsula. That was a failure from the first week and a half. We knew that. Why? Because they were so timid in telling us any advances, and then they say, yeah, we are on a counteroffensive. If there would have been a successful counteroffensive, they would have reported it the first day they started it. But since they didn't from the very beginning, they like bang, bang, bang. They waited until they broke through so they can report that, hey, the counteroffensive is raging and these guys are going towards Moscow. Since it didn't happen for about 3 or 4 days, they had to, because the other side already started open their mouth. Hey, the counteroffensive is bing, bing, bing. So they say, yeah, but steady. So let's go to the article back here. So over the past day, I'm quoting, enemy launched 175 attacks on 23 settlements of Zaporizhzhia region, 165 artillery strikes on the territory of Holyapole, Orkiv, Zaliznichne, Robotne, Novo. Oh my God, there's going to be a long list here. Where what do? You just take a shot of all this and then look over it in about a week and see if the Russians reach these villages. Because how these things work is like this. You bombard, so this is the line of contact. You bombard here, the other guys' defenses. And after you clear this, then you go with the troops and push the front forward. And then you hit further again. And again, after you clear everything, if you're able, then you push forward with your front, with your troops, and so on. That's how it goes over there. You try to get rid of these guys, and then you push, and then try to get rid of, and you push. So this is what's going on here. So if they hit these things, go after a week or two and find out if you're gonna find out the new settlements are further east. If west, if they're further west, that means this moved like this. And then if you're gonna find further west, that means this moved over here. And you can look over the map. So take a picture of those settlements here that they mentioned, the 23 settlements right here, and you're gonna see in the future what happened. And other frontline towns and villages were recorded. This is head of Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. According to Malashko, the invaders also launched 7 UAV attacks on Novodarivka, Bilohirya, and Mala Tokmachka, and shelled Malinivka, Novodanilivka, I'm breaking my tongue, and Kamyanske with MLRS. Alright, this is the first one. So as I showed, here are the villages supposedly located. You're gonna find them in this here. This doesn't go further than that, but you can find another map, Google map, and you can use whatever other ones you want. And that's not what I want. The other one is this one, which is again from Ukrinform, and it says that Ukraine repels over 30 assaults in Tavria operational zone. So if you repel something, that means something comes at you, right? Or it's on you. 30 Russian assaults. The armed forces of Ukraine on Saturday repelled 35 Russian attacks near Avdiivka and Marynka in Donetsk region. So the attacks are Marynka and Avdiivka. So from Zaporizhzhia, where I showed you the map before, you just go a little bit north or northeast, and you're going to reach Vuhledar right here, and then you're going to hear Marynka and Avdiivka right here. Avdiivka is already in deep doo-doo, if you can see what's going on over here. And I'm going to show you on the big map like this from far away where that is. So there it is in this area, right in the middle here. Let's put it this way. This is where this article is talking about the 35 attacks. That's according to a let's go back and look over that again. So in this area in the Donetsk, right here. And the other article was talking about the shelling of Zaporizhzhia, right here and right here. And remember, Kupiansk right here and Liman are also areas where the Russians are trying to advance or advancing steadily. Nothing here in Kherson. In Kherson, the Ukrainians reported that supposedly, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they reported, and I'm saying, crossed the Dnieper River. So they crossed on the west bank, and supposedly they are somewhere on the other side in a little village here, somewhere trying to make sure that they got a position where they can start their offensive and go towards Crimea, I'm guessing. So let's go back to the article here and see what these guys are saying. That's according to a spokesman for the Tavria group of troops, Colonel Alexander Stupin. Who spoke on the air of the national telethon, and I'm quoting, "The invaders do not give up their attempts to besiege Avdiivka, but Avdiivka being that doo-doo situation right here. This is Avdiivka. So yeah, I think that's in bad shape. But Bakhmut was in the same way, and the Ukrainians were able to push back in Artemovsk, as they call it, which is, where are you? Did I pass you? Right here. See, this is Artemovsk. This is the way it was before. Artemovsk, Bakhmut it's conquered by the Russians, but it was the same kind of situation, and the Ukrainians pushed back both sides. Well, here in Marynka and Avdiivka, the situation is like this. It doesn't mean that the Ukrainians cannot push back, but if you have two nuances of whatever this color is, red kind of color, this is where the Russians advanced, and this is where they used to be, but I don't know exactly. Not yesterday or something like that. So let's go and see what this general has to say, or colonel, whatever he was. Colonel? Yeah, colonel. "The invaders do not give up their attempts to besiege Avdiivka, but our warriors hold their ground and inflict significant losses on enemy forces. The enemy's offensive efforts near Keramilk, Avdiivka, Stepove, Tonenke, and Pervomaiske yield no success. More than 15 enemy attacks have been repelled. Assault efforts are being recorded near Marynka, Krasnohorivka, and Pobieda. These are more than 20 assaults, and all of them had failed." Okay, he said. That's good. He said that 23 Russian airstrikes in the past day, including with the use of guided air bombs that terrorized the residents of Avdiivka and the surrounding area. The enemy also engaged in 55 combat clashes and launched over 1,000 artillery strikes, which a spokesman says is twice as many as reported the previous day. Okay, that means it's an upgrade of the situation. At the same time, the spokesman noted that the Ukrainian military repelled Russian assaults in the area of, and this is in the Donetsk region, as well as in north of Priutne, Zaporizhzhia region. So the Russians are trying to push through, obviously, and the Ukrainians are on defensive. The only thing that, as I said, the Ukrainian reported was that they supposedly crossed on the west bank of the Dnieper River in Kherson and tried to establish there a bridgehead so they can go from there. We'll find out. So, This is what's going on in Ukraine, and that's way more people dying in Ukraine than die in the other conflict over there. Okay, but somehow these guys, we know why, these guys are focused on that one, like, oh my God. Why? Because that garbage over there can turn into a bigger garbage for all of us. Why? Because Al Capone is more interested, not more interested, has to be, is forced to be, or does it willingly. Yeah, I promise I'm gonna do it. Don't. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. You know, and that's why we have to pay attention to what's going on over there. That's a tragedy over there. It's a tragedy over here, and you have the same common denominator. The United States of America is involved over there and here. You say, well, the United States is not involved in what's going on in Israel. Okay. Whatever you say. All right, because the United States was involved in that peace process for about what? How many years? 50 years already? And that's the result. Thank you very much. You suck. If you suck, you should be removed. Let some other people try. How about you let them try? Yeah, these guys get involved wherever they want, and they look what's going on in North and South Korea. Those guys probably could have gotten closer together, or at least de-escalate the whole garbage if Al Capone would have been out. But Al Capone has its own interests over there. China is the goal over there, as Russia is in Europe. So in the Middle East, Iran. So they have to, and they just stay and they just help. They're not hit like in the Second World War. They're not hit. I mean, if you consider the attack on what was that? Hawaii as being a hit. Okay, but the mainland was untouched. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing, but it doesn't stop us from realize what they're doing as well. You know, remember after the Second World War, United States reigned supreme, not because it was more efficient or more this or more that. No, because everybody else fucked themselves. Which again, good for you in America. But then what happened? The economic power and the military power was this much, and then what happened after that? These guys reached, and they are again challenging the United States and trying to surpass them. And what do these guys do? Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2, gone. We're going to push you back, and we have troops on your continent as well. You don't have on our, but we have on yours, because we protect you from the boogeyman, Putin. Thank you very much. All right. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.